It's just this silent competition going on.
It's like always tested based on like my physical and mental endurance every single day.
Every morning when I wake up, I look at my phone, I can do it.
I had about 4 CCAs.
Wow, that is crazy.
You start questioning yourself, like what is the point of all of this?
You have about 3 to 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cramming your 2 years worth of content, and you have a one make it or break it exam at the end.
Today we are back at my alma mater, Dunman High, where I survived one of the most stressful years of my life. Today we are going to uncover just how far students are willing to go to get good grades.
From shocking exam prep stories to dealing with guilt and intense spiraling burnout, let's reveal just truly how intense the JC life really is. What is the craziest thing you've ever done to help yourself prep for an exam?
I did this thing called revenge studying, which I think is a really toxic thing. I just forced myself to do more work.
Having a lot of back-to-back consults on consecutive days. One day can have about 3 consults.
I would plan the night before, like what to wear the next day. For math, right, I will wear like red. For bio, I wear blue. Get into the vibe, you know.
How many hours do you study daily during exam periods in JC?
7 to 10?
Okay, let me check my YPT. 7 to 10 hours?
With breaks in between, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
What is a YPT?
YPT is an app where like we would track like how long we study, key in your tasks, and like study with friends basically.
Could you share with us, how do you really prep for an exam?
I plan usually a week ahead so that I will know what I need to study before the exam.
Eat well. You must get a lot of brain food, you know. Memorize important concepts before you sleep. There's this thing called sleep memory consolidation.
There you go. See, I told you you can memorize in your sleep, right? Yep.
When you wake up, you realize that everything you were struggling to memorize is all in your head.
I have this like Google spreadsheet where I will track the topics that I feel like less confident in, so that when exam season rolls around, then I will know which topics to start studying first.
Have you ever felt the need to perform better than your peers?
A lot of the times, actually. There's just this silent competition going on. They're just bombastic side-eye each other.
A little bird told me that Jasmine scored only 50 on her science paper.
I definitely feel the pressure to do like as well as them, if not like maybe a bit better.
Yeah, I don't feel anxious about it.
Okay.
I guess I am quite positive and someone with growth mindset. I will ask my friends how they do it. How do they score so well?
Have you ever felt guilty because you took a break?
Yes, a lot of the times as well.
Oh yes, I definitely feel guilty.
So I always catch myself doom scrolling on social media.
Ooh, we all do that, you know.
Yeah,
The moment I wake up.
I tell myself, oh, I'm only gonna take a break for 1 hour. But then as I watch like Netflix or something, then it will just like drag on.
I will feel anxious about it lah. But I tell myself that I should prioritize my mental health. If not, it wouldn't be sustainable for me to study in the long run.
What motivates you to keep pushing academically even when you're overwhelmed?
It's the fear of letting myself down.
You know the focus mode in your phone?
Right, yeah, focus mode.
Yeah, and then I will put one of my focus mode as I can do it. So every morning when I wake up, I look at my phone, I can do it. You didn't do it with me.
You can do it! Sorry.
Sorry.
You can do it.
Behind the hustle and grind, there is a hidden cost. Burnout. What does that look like and how do students overcome it? Meet Kaylin, who has just completed one of the toughest exams in Singapore, her A-Levels. Today we are going to explore a day in the life of a JC student, and here we have Kaylin.
Hello!
Hello! What is your day in the life?
In JC, I had about 4 CCAs. So I was in guitar and song, I was in Chinese orchestra, I was in touch rugby and Isaac, which is like this like Model United Nations CCA in my school. Sometimes I have to come early to school, especially during like Chinese New Year or Mid-Autumn Festival periods where I'm preparing. I need to wake up at like maybe 6 something. I try and reach school at about 7-ish. And then after that, I would go off for lessons as per normal. And then after that, I would try and do some homework if I have. And then sometimes I have admin stuff for my VIA group to do. And then after that, I would like do some homework, cram a bit. And by that time, like it's probably quite late. So I'm thinking like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
What I'm hearing is in your busiest period, you have about 3 to 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you once experienced a burnout before?
Yeah, like multiple times, like especially during my busy periods. I feel like especially during these times, because I'm not getting enough rest and all, I feel like quite negative also. Especially for academics, it takes a while for you to see the results, you know. So you wonder like what is the point of everything. Sometimes I wouldn't have a lot of time to eat also.
So then, was there a particular moment where you're like, you know what, I'm experiencing very severe burnout, I really need to do something to make myself feel better?
Honestly, it's mainly when I realized that I have like health issues. I would get like sick easily, like I have flu or I had like some stomach issues, that kind of thing. And that was when I realized like, okay, this is getting a bit too much. And then like I needed to take a step back from everything and like try and rest and like kind of like realign with myself.
What was your main support system?
For me personally, I felt like it was more of my parents and my friends also. So my parents are like, I feel like they're very supportive of me. And my friends also, like I'm very grateful that a lot of my friends, they took time out of their day to like sit down with me and ask me like, hey, what's going on? All of us at the end of the day, we're sitting for this same exam together. So we should all like try and work harder together and like try our best and just be there for each other when we need each other.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, the first question we have is that there are some students who might be ashamed or embarrassed that they have to retake their A-Levels. What do you have to say about that?
Retaking A-Levels is not a failure. In fact, for guys who need to serve NS, the 2 years actually gives you a buffer period to think about what you really want to do. For girls, there's also no shame to take a gap year and really think about what you want. Yeah, don't have to keep comparing with your peers lah.
But comparison is very evident here in Singapore. Some students may have this perception that choosing polytechnics over JC could be a sign of failure, which I don't agree lah. I'm a poly student. Yeah. What do you think about this?
Certainly not. I think the stigma of poly being the lesser choice compared to JC is a very antiquated thinking. I have seen many poly graduates who are doing very well and they end up in the same local unis, very competitive courses also. I think for JC students, it takes a lot of courage. If you realize 2-3 months in or even few months in that the learning style of JC is not really suitable for you, you might want to consider the poly route. Actually, it might be better for some students. A-Levels is unfortunately a bit like extension of O-Levels, where you're cramming your 2 years worth of content and you have a one make it or break it exam at the end.
I feel like adding on to that, because I've also been through the JC route, to be very honest, when I went uni and after uni, I also felt a bit lost because we are just very buried into the books, you know, going through the curriculum. And I realized in uni that many of my poly peers, they kind of already knew what they wanted to do. And I was very impressed by how they already knew so many things. Like they know how to code, they know how to film, they know how to edit. Whereas a lot of myself included and my JC peers, we're just like, okay, where do I want to go next? You know, a lot of the JC students' mindsets are still very, okay, you know what, I need to get good grades. So good grades equals to everything. But honestly, if I had the knowledge that I have now, I would actually have told myself to just experience the world a bit more. Go out, explore the different career paths and know that there is a bigger world out there.
Alright, so it doesn't matter how your results are at the end of today, but what matters is your attitude towards the rest of your life.
So if you're a JC goer, you're a current JC student, or you have graduated even 10 years ago, we want to hear from you. Share with us, how was your JC life like? And remember to like and subscribe. Gen Z Crash Course!
Bye-bye!